So the Houston Rockets are 2-for-2 in their eight. What am I saying? So the Houston Rockets are 2-for-2 in the seeding tournament, this seeding whatever's going on right now. So they went ahead and started up first game against Dallas, where they took that game in overtime thriller. And this past Sunday, they went ahead and squared up with the Milwaukee Bucks. And boy, was that one satisfying as hell. So today I'll be going over game 2 against the Milwaukee Bucks. With that being said, let's get right to this impression. All right. So the Houston Rockets, again, small ball team. They're going to have a very difficult time with the Milwaukee Bucks, given that they have Brook Lopez, they have Giannis, clearly, and Robin Lopez too. So they got some pretty big centers that crowd the paint. So it was going to be a little bit difficult for this Houston Rockets small ball team to get in the paint with this team, in particular this team, because they're one of the higher rated defense teams, especially when it comes to defending inside the perimeter. So with that being said, Houston Rockets are going to do what the Houston Rockets do. So here we're going to see again them driving to the paint. Here we see Russell Westbrook again just driving inside. It doesn't matter who's in his way. He's going to get the job done regardless of who's in the paint. Here we have this is a very nice pass with Daniel House cutting to the back. Like I said, Daniel House and Macklemore, if they're able to get good passes, they will most definitely cut through the back and get easy buckets, because people tend to, I don't know if it's just me, but people tend to sleep on them, and that's just not a good idea. And here we have Harden again with a little floater, nice touch. He gets it in, easy peasy, lemon squeezy, man. So again, the Houston Rockets, even though they're small, it really doesn't matter. Even though in this game, they didn't drive to the bucket as much as I would have wanted them to. I understand, just because of you know, the defensive prowess that the Milwaukee Bucks have. Again, especially when it's inside the perimeter, you really don't want to be driving in there too much. You want to take them out from the outside, from the 3-point shots, from the corners, from the wings. So that's what you want to do against this type of team, and that indeed is what the Houston Rockets did. So here next up, I just want to touch on this real quick. And I know that Russell Westbrook, he loves shooting mid-range jumpers, in particular from like the elbows. Those are his spots. So here we see Russell Westbrook doing one of his, that's his spot from the elbow, easy peasy. And I just wish I would see more of the Houston Rockets players take shots from mid-range. Here we're gonna see Robert Covington kind of, right from the elbow, easy peasy again. I wish I would see some more Houston Rockets players besides Russell Westbrook. And I know I only showed one clip of Westbrook shooting a mid-range shot right here from the elbow, and he did it a lot of times in this game over people. Russell Westbrook's ridiculous from that spot. But I wish other players would shoot from mid-range, in particular when they're getting really, really cold from 3. I wish they would just take it in and take some mid-range shots while, they got to get that rhythm where they can start shooting from 3 again. Because once they get cold, again, this Houston Rockets team, they're live by the 3, die by the 3 type of team. So when they're cold, it gets really ugly. And anyways. And next up, what I want to discuss again is just the 3-point shooting, man. Again, this Houston Rockets team is live by the 3, die by the 3. Okay, so here we have James Harden. He mishandles the ball a bit. He ends up passing the ball to Robert Covington back, and he's able to drain the 3. I'm so glad to be seeing that, because sometimes Harden he'll grab the ball, he'll mishandle it, and then he'll regain control of it, do a little ISO, shoot it, and he'll end up completely breaking the shot. So I'm glad he's passing the ball a lot more. Here we have Harden again with the dribble penetration, passes it to Tucker, who passes it to Green. Green gives up the shot for a better shot, gives it to Macklemore, who is able to drain the 3. Again, Macklemore is one of the other 3-point. I don't want to say specialist, but he's one of the better 3-point shooters when he's actually in rhythm and making his shots. So here next up, here we have again Harden passing the ball. Westbrook passes it to Macklemore again for that corner three. Money. Oh Jesus, I'm telling you, this Houston Rockets team, when they're hot, when they get hot from three, it's you ain't stopping them. Right here we have Jeff Green to Russell Westbrook again. And Russell Westbrook had already stopped shooting threes just because he was shooting a shitty percentage from three when he first started. So he stopped and he started driving more, shooting mid-range shots. But even when the team gets good, and I know in this game in particular, the Rockets weren't shooting particularly well from three. So they were at 34.4%. So they were like 21 out of 61 from three. So it wasn't, they had an okay night, but they weren't on fire like they usually, like they can get. But even on this night, Westbrook said he's gonna get his today. So here we have Westbrook passes to Rivers. The little ISO, he dances on his opponent. Money, look at that, bam, money. Even, I'm telling you, don't sleep on Austin Rivers either, man. Here we have Westbrook shooting it out to Macklemore for the catch and shoot three. I'm telling you, you can't. It's impossible. Here we go. Daniel House. I'm telling you, these catch and threes, we're starting to see a little bit more of these catch and threes, in particular from Harden and Westbrook. Now they'll go in with the dribble penetration, kind of collapse the defense, the defending players on them, and then they'll just leave someone in the corner wide open, and that's what they've been exploiting these past few games that I've known, particularly this one. You're gonna notice that Westbrook and Harden they're looking for PJ Tucker, and they were looking for Jeff Green a lot, who were already posting up in the corners. So and you'll see that. Here we have Westbrook kind of again shooting it out to the corner, so they're keeping an eye on the corners here, because that's where they're having success against this Milwaukee Bucks team. Again, corner three, passes it up for a wing shot, bam, money. I'm telling you, man, this team I like how they're doing it now. Look, a lot of corner three, they're passing the ball around. Who said that passing the ball wasn't fun, huh? So here we have again Harden to PJ Tucker in the corner. I'm telling you, they exploited that corner this whole game. Here we have Harden again giving it to Jeff Green, who's wide open, because again they'll do the dribble penetration, drive in, they'll collapse the defense, and they'll leave those corners wide open. And that's one of the things with Westbrook and Harden. Once they start driving, they will attract defenders, because it's what they do. If you need more than one person to take these two, oh my god, you need more than one defender to take these two dudes down. So they'll collapse defenses, and it's crazy. Harden with a crazy three right here. Let me repeat that. Here we have Harden, man. He like, it's crazy what this man does. Just look at it. Like, that's a wild ass shot and it went in. How the hell, like that's what people get frustrated with this, man. He be making some wild shots that don't even make sense, and he drew the foul on that one, so that was a 4-point play. I can't remember if he made it, but I'm more than sure he did. Again, looking for corners. This whole game here, their offense was them looking for the corners most of the time. Daniel House here perfecting a little step back of his own. It's very nice. He's perfecting a little step back. I know he had a little nice one against Dallas in their first game, and then he did this one, so he's developing a little one for himself, and I like it. Again, the Houston Rockets are gonna shoot. They're gonna shoot their threes. They're gonna shoot high volume threes regardless of, the opponents they're taking on, right? So again, live by the three, die by the three. If they're having a great shooting night, they will torch anyone, but if they're struggling a lot, it can get ugly really fast. So this is where I'm saying that I wish more of the Rockets would shoot some mid-range jumpers, especially when they're really, like, when they're cold, because I don't want to even bring back the memories of that playoff game when they had I think 37 missed threes, or it was like a horrible statistic for missed threes, and that's what ended up. Even though, and believe it or not, they lost that game by single digits. Can you imagine if they had scored at least half of those threes? They would have taken it, man. But again, they didn't adjust, and it was unfortunate what happened. And another thing I want to talk about is just the effort overall that they're starting to show. I think the break did all of them good. As they not only they rested up their bodies, they're physically sound, but I think they're more focused and they're driven. So here again, we're gonna see Russell Westbrook, and Russell Westbrook does what Russell Westbrook does. So we have Austin Rivers shoot the three, he misses it. Again, there's a lot of defenders in the paint. So here we have at least we have at least three defenders that are in the vicinity that could have gotten that rebound. But here we go. We have Westbrook rolling in, grabbing that rebound, and driving it in, so taking it into the basket. So that's amazing, man. And here we have a little pickpocket. So here we have Daniel House driving 2-on-1, misses, and Harden. Again, this is something that you don't normally see from James Harden. Harden was chasing behind them, and he ended up catching the miss, and he takes it in. Like, what's happening here? Like, it's not a bad thing. I'm loving he's doing this, but oh my god, there you can tell there is a change. There is a change in attitude. I'm telling you, I don't know if it was the 4-month break. He had time to reflect on what he's doing. Maybe he's like, okay, we got to get it done. I don't know. But I'm loving this. I am loving this effort that these two, especially Westbrook, he brings it in, day out. And I think it may be rubbing on Westbrook on Harden, because he's showing some he's showing some traits that he would normally not show. So it's incredible. The last thing I want to point out about this game, the Rockets exploited the corner threes. They did a lot of things, but I think what ultimately ended up killing the Bucks was the Rockets defense in the fourth quarter. And throughout the whole game, they did have some spurts of awesome defense where they were able to strip balls and convert points out of that. But I think in the fourth quarter, they just locked up, and then they took it to the Bucks. So here we're gonna see PJ Tucker, and I know Brooke. This is Brooke, yeah. No, so I know he ended up passing it to someone that was cutting in the back. But just look at PJ Tucker. He's a wall. Brooke is not getting past him. He is not getting past that, and he had to force the ball. He had to pass the ball because he knew he wasn't gonna get nowhere with PJ Tucker walling him up like that. And here we're gonna see PJ Tucker again strip the ball. And unfortunately, Brooks able to get it to Chris Middleton, who had been having a great shooting night. Drains the three. But again, just look at the defensive pressure that they're applying to the bigs here. There's about 3 jerseys around Brook Lopez, and it's insane. Here we see, I think, was it Robert Covington? I think that they forced the turnover, which they ended up converting into a little nice Covington layup on the other end. It's again, they're showing a lot of defensive effort, which is something that they normally wouldn't do, and I'm for it right now, man. Again, here we have Harden stripping Giannis. Ooh, take that, Giannis. How does it feel? Look at that. Oh, nice little feed of Westbrook for the layup. Oh my goodness. I bet you Giannis ain't gonna be talking that shit anymore, because Harden made him look like a chump. I'm not gonna lie, he made him look like a chump. And I know there was a clip. I think it was one of the last defensive plays that the Rockets had. Harden locked Giannis up to the point where he had to force a terrible pass, and it ended up going out of bounds. I think Kyle Korver ended up missing. I don't remember what happened, but Giannis ended up on the floor. Yeah, I bet you he won't be talking that shit anymore. And here we have another pick, and James Harden says, fuck the layup, I'm going for the three, and he drains it. It was incredible. I think this game the Rockets ended up with 15 steals overall. I think James Harden had an all-time high. He had a record high for steals. I think at some point he had over. I think he may have had over 6. they forced 23 turnovers on the Bucks end, while they themselves only had 9. So they're doing a pretty good job taking care of the ball. They were locked in, and it was good. It was good, fellas. So if I'm hoping I can get this video out before they face the Portland Trailblazers. But that one's gonna be a banger too. So we'll see. Anyways, this has been Dro bringing you a Houston Rockets game impression. And I hope to see you guys in the next video. Take care.